Hi there, this is Lindy. Welcome to my channel, Lindy's Magpie Reads. Today I am going to do a tag that has been going around for a while. It is the Atwood Adventure tag, and it was created by Jolene at Bookworm Adventure Girl. And I think she created it a couple months ago, but I haven't done many tags, and I haven't done this one. I most recently watched Teacup the Storyteller, Becky, doing this tag. So that made me think, that might be kind of fun. And here goes. Oh, my cat is moving the camera. Prompt number 1. Before publishing her first collection of poetry in the early 60s, Margaret Atwood had several other jobs, including working at summer camps. What was your first job? Well, I guess I can't count all the chores on the farm. So when I was 16, I had a waitress job at a pizza place. When I was 18, I worked for about 6 months as a camp cook in a construction camp. I was cooking for 35 guys. I was vegetarian. They were meat and potatoes guys, and so I used a Mennonite cookbook. I just made them their meat and potatoes. Prompt number 2. While growing up, Margaret Atwood's family spent several months each year living in the bush in northern Ontario. What is a survival skill that you have that would help you survive living off the grid? Actually, I think I would be pretty good at this because of the way I was raised. We lived in a log cabin that my dad had built while he was building we lived there while he was building our permanent house, and there was no running water or heat or electricity. This is back in the 60s. I mean, I was a kid. It was fine for me. Hard for my mom. My youngest sister was still in diapers then. One of my sisters lives off the grid in the Yukon Territory, and I love going to visit her there. My special skill, or most important skill I would say, is I'm a really good forager. I know what foods around here are found in the wild, what plants are edible. So yeah, that would be handy. Prompt number 3. Margaret Atwood grew up reading comic books. Do you have a favorite comic book or comic book character? It is really hard for me to pick. I read comics all the time, but I'm going to say Lying Cat. Not you, this is Frida. Lying Cat from Saga. I'm going to pop a picture of her in here in case you don't know her. Prompt number 4. Margaret Atwood is not only a poet and author, she's also illustrated books and shown her creativity in so many other ways. What are some ways that you are creative? I love to make things. I love to knit. I knit this sweater. And I also dyed the yarn for this sweater. It's got a bunch of different shades of gold and yellow, and they're all from plants in my garden. I'll pop in a full picture of it so you can see the different shades, because it's kind of hard to show on this distance. So yeah, I do lots of handcrafts, embroidery, natural dyes. I'm learning how to spin, but I'm not very good at it. But I love to knit, and I like to knit with my own designs. So this sweater, for example, is my own creation right from the start, which means I often have to unravel and re-knit when things don't work out the way that I had in mind. But that's all part of the fun for me. Prompt number 5. Some of Margaret Atwood's writing is inspired by myths, folktales, and fairy tales. What is your favorite myth, folktale, or fairy tale, and why? So many, so many. I love fairy tales and folktales. I guess ones that come to mind, anything with Baba Yaga in it. Especially her house with the chicken feet. Just the right blend of scary and whimsy. There's a girl that can outsmart her, Baba Yaga, and yeah. I also like retellings of stories like Little Red Riding Hood. There's plenty of wonderful retellings of Little Red Riding Hood. When I worked at the public library, I loved doing preschool story time, and I had a little puppet that was Little Red Riding Hood on one side, and when you turned her upside down, it was the wolf, and you could put it was the granny's outfit, and I used that so much for retelling that story. I don't know what happened to that little puppet doll thing. I must have it around here somewhere. Anyway, prompt number 6. Margaret Atwood's most well-known novel is The Handmaid's Tale. What is a task or chore you wish you had a maid or servant for? House cleaning, definitely. Not my favorite. Prompt number 7. The themes Margaret Atwood writes about have stayed consistent in all her writing for over 6 decades. She writes about the role of men and women in society, relationships, religion, marriage, and identity, to name a few. If Atwood were to write a novel about you, what are some themes she would need to include? Empathy, compassion, lesbian feminism, social justice, what else? Celebration of diversity, I guess. Prompt number 8. Margaret Atwood has created words for her novels. She's talked about how this makes it difficult for translators of her work. Do you have a favorite word? Why is it your favorite? I like words that are fun to say. When I was driving from Ontario back to Alberta with some friends, we went by a sign for Kakabeka Falls, and I just wanted to say it over and over, Kakabeka, Kakabeka, Kakabeka. I don't know, I just love the sound of things. But having recently watched Becky's video, and Becky is from Slovakia, that reminded me that my favorite Slovakian word is zmrzlina, which means ice cream. I love ice cream, and I love saying zmrzlina. They're very parsimonious with their vowels there in Slovakia. I'll put the word here so you can see how it's spelled. Prompt number 9. Margaret Atwood was born in Canada and lives in Canada now, but she has also lived in other countries like the United States, England, France, Germany, and Scotland. What countries have you lived in, and or what is another country you would like to live in? I have only lived in Canada, but I have traveled a lot. In fact, in 2002, I spent the entire year traveling and working on farms. There's a program called WOOF, Worldwide Organic, what is it called? Worldwide Workers on Organic Farms, something like that. Anyway, so I lived for a month or two at a time in different places on farms, in Spain, in France, in Finland, in Australia and New Zealand, and Ireland as well. Probably the country that I would like to live in most, if I had to leave Canada, would be New Zealand. Just love it there. And I know lots of good people there too. And to me, that's really important. I mean, that's the reason why I stay in Edmonton, is because I'm connected to the community here. There's a few more prompts, but I think I'm going to call it a day. And I hope you enjoyed watching this tag video, and I hope that you will try these prompts as well. If you haven't done it yet, consider yourself tagged. Bye for now.